class.
Morning, Philip teacher.
Okay, today we're going to talk about something very important and very special to your country. It's red and spicy and delicious. Does anyone know what it is? Alex?
It is kimchi.
That's right, it's kimchi. Now, before we talk about the history of kimchi and where it comes from, let's talk about some national foods all around the world. So, what we'll do is we'll play a little game. I'm going to say something about the food, like describe it for you, and tell you where it comes from, and then you tell me what the name of the food is, okay?
Okay, great.
Great, so the first food comes from Italy. Okay, we can make it with noodles and sauce, and sometimes we throw meatballs inside of it. Does anybody know what food that is? Tony?
Spaghetti.
That's right, it's spaghetti, okay? The next food comes from Japan. We can eat it raw or uncooked. Okay, raw or uncooked. Does anyone know what that is? What do you call that? Tiffany?
It is sushi.
It's sushi, very good, sushi. Okay, this other food comes from Mexico. We use corn and lettuce and tomatoes, and we put all of it inside a hard or soft shell. And it comes from Mexico. Does anyone know what the name of that food is? Alex?
It is tacos.
That's right, it is tacos. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about food around the world, let's talk about a national food in your country. It's called kimchi. Okay, so kimchi first comes during the Three Kingdoms period. Okay, during the Three Kingdoms period, this is when people wanted to keep food for a long time. So what they would do is they would put all these different things inside of salt water to keep it to last a long time. Okay, we call this pickling or preserving food. Okay, so everybody say, put it in salt water.
Salt water.
Very good. Okay, so during the Kyoto Dynasty, people started to want to add different things to it because they got bored of the same kind of food, right? Who eats pizza every day? How would you feel if you eat pizza every day?
Very delicious.
It's delicious, but you get bored of it, right?
Yes.
So that's how they felt. So what they started to do, they started putting different things inside of it. They started adding salt and garlic and fermented fish paste to make it taste different, okay? Okay, now then, during the Chosun Dynasty, this is when Japan invaded Korea. They came in Korea and they brought different kind of things. So the first thing they did is they brought red peppers from South America and Portugal into Korea. And then they started putting this into the kimchi. And guess what? People loved it. Okay? So nowadays, this is a main ingredient in kimchi. So it wasn't at first, but now it's a main ingredient. Okay, then, these days, kimchi is very important in Korean meals. So, the reason it's really important and becoming popular all over the world is because it's really healthy for you. And it's really nutritious. It's got lots of vitamins and it has lots of minerals in it. So, people all over the world want to start eating healthy. So now, kimchi is becoming popular all over the world. Okay, so before we talk more about that, let's talk about how kimchi is made. Okay? So kimchi is made using a process called fermentation. Everybody say fermentation.
Fermentation.
Okay, fermentation is a way to keep food using either salt water or using bacteria to grow inside of it to make it last longer. Okay? Kimchi is one kind of food that is fermented. Okay, so this is also called preserving. Preserving means keeping something. Everybody say, keep it.
Keep it.
Okay, so how do you think Koreans kept kimchi a long time ago? Who knows the way that they kept? Rooney, how did Koreans keep kimchi a long time ago?
They stored kimchi rose pots buried in the ground.
Good, they stored kimchi buried in large pots in the ground. So nowadays, we use refrigerators to keep kimchi fresh, so we don't have to bury it anymore. And also, large companies produce kimchi. Okay? So, quick question, who remembers? How do we keep kimchi fresh nowadays? Tiffany?
Nowadays, refrigerators are used to keep kimchi fresh.
That's right, we use refrigerators. Okay, so let's talk about some different kinds of kimchi. There are over 187 kinds of kimchi. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about the main four that you probably know already. Everybody say cabbage kimchi.
Cabbage kimchi.
Okay, this is mainly made with cabbage. Okay, then green onion kimchi.
Green onion kimchi.
Guess what the main ingredient is?
Green onion.
Green onions. All right, and then everybody say cubed radish kimchi.
Cubed radish kimchi.
And then finally stuffed cucumber kimchi.
Soft cucumber kimchi.
Okay, so now we know some kinds of kimchi. Let's talk about the different ingredients. Okay, so here are some things inside of kimchi. So when I say that, I want you to repeat it with me. Ready? Cabbage.
Cabbage.
And red pepper powder.
Red pepper powder.
Salt.
Salt.
Crushed garlic.
Crushed garlic.
Green onions.
Green onion.
And ginger.
Ginger.
Very good. Okay, so who remembers when red pepper ingredient was added into kimchi? Alvin, when was red pepper added into kimchi?
Red chili pepper were introduced in the 1700s by the Japanese during the Japanese invasion.
That's right. When Japan invaded, that's when they added red pepper. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to play a little game with you. I'm going to give you just a second to remember. I'm going to repeat it one more time, and then we'll play a game. I'll show you a picture, and then you tell me a sentence with the ingredient. Okay? So ready? One more time. Ready? Cabbage.
Cabbage.
Red pepper powder.
Red pepper powder.
Salt.
Salt.
Crushed garlic.
Crushed garlic.
Green onions.
Green onion.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Okay, take a picture with your eyes. Ready? Okay, here we go. Ready? First game. Let's see who remembers. Who knows what this is? Gian, what is that?
It's cabbage. Cabbage is used to make kimchi.
That's right. Very good. What are these beautiful vegetables? Gabriella?
Those are radishes. Radishes are used in radish kimchi and other kimchi dishes.
All right. Very good. Okay. Next. Okay, what is this? And we do this to it. What is that? Henry? Okay, read loud about it. I can't hear.
Each cola is something to add kimchi to add flavor.
That's right. We add garlic to add flavor. Who knows what this long green one is? Renee?
It is green onions. Green onions are added to kimchi for color and taste.
That's right. We can also add it for color and also for taste. So these add flavor to kimchi. Ready? Who knows what this root is called? Alice?
That's ginger. Ginger is a spice that can be used in kimchi.
That's right. It's a spice. We can add this to add the spice, a little different texture and flavor to it. And what is this green wonderful? Oh, sorry, not green. What is this red wonderful ingredient? Mike? What is that? What is this ingredient?
They are chili peppers. Red chili peppers are used to make kimchi taste spicy.
That's right. We add it to taste spicy. It has that bite to it. Okay. And then the last one, very important, really important to kimchi. Most important. What is this? Tony?
For this is to preserve kimchi.
Good. Salt is used to preserve kimchi. That's right. Okay. Now that you know how to do that, we are going to play a little game. Okay. We're going to make some kimchi. Everybody say, make the kimchi.